You know what I think is funny is that I'm not stressing about anything with these videos because I know that whoever is watching this is a good person. Otherwise, the person would care about the perfectionism of these videos, which obviously isn't either in my hair nor in the quality of it. But I hope that at some point there is some value coming out of it. I still see that I'm not ready to stress myself with it at all. I think because of the injuries that I've had in the brain, because of the injuries that I've had in my soul, because of the injuries that I've had through my way of thinking, and also through the energy that I have, because I used to have a lot of energy, and the physical injuries that just came in the past 2 years. One thing that these injuries definitely made me realize is to understand and direct my intention without wanting to please either ideologies nor rules that have been made up by humans that work against my internal system. That's me. I'm not saying that's good for anyone else, but that's me. And sometimes what is not so great about it is that I feel like I don't fit into most of the systems, which is not a problem, but requires a lot of sometimes I think it's so sad that I don't care more about the way I put the camera on and the makeup that I didn't put on today again. But on the other side, how cool is it to have gotten to a point in your life that through all the amount of injuries that you have been through and all the amount of difficulties that you have been through, to realize that I have still 50 years to go and I want to risk what it feels like to not only move as myself, as in a you can see and applaud to what I do and think that I'm special or not, which is what most people do, right? They know that they are not allowed to take this work because it might be bad for their career. They know that they should cut their hair a certain way so that people think that they are successful. They would never show up in a video like this because a unicorn doesn't look good on a 35-year-old woman. But getting back to the injuries, I figured out for myself that if a lot of contradictions happen inside of me, or I don't believe 100% that I deserve to be where I am, or I get busy with the lower consciousness of other people in a work environment or in a studio, I'm more prone to fight from a negative part of myself and think that I can do it, which is great. But I think that doing that for more than my entire life, well, I'm just going to be in my body within this lifetime. And if I care so much about my clients and my colleagues and my friends and my ex-partners, why wouldn't I care for myself? So this is me again. I'm interested in how injuries impact your mental growth. One difficult part of making breaks without wanting it is the brain chemistry has been working on a certain level, and then the injury comes, boom. And if you have to stop, the brain thinks and continues to want to have these cortisol levels and the levels of, my God, there are so many sensitive connections happening on a neuronal level. And they start to get really confused. And so what happens is that people have weird food attacks, have strange sleeping disorders, maybe get aggressive because the amount of energy that you usually had in your body that you could deload starts to just collide in yourself, and then people think that they are addicted to movement. And I don't think that so many people are addicted to movement. I know it's a terminology that people like to talk about. I think we underestimate how important the development of your mind and your personality is, and how connected it is to your movement, that your brain learns from the way you move and the way you interact with people. So taking that away from you doesn't make you an addicted person to your sport, or someone that isn't able to deal without motion and goals. It's that your way to perceive the world and your way to access intelligence and also to develop your intelligence is connected to something as simple as moving your body. You can't tell a lion or a frog or a squirrel that it should stop moving. So being injured, I went to Guatemala a few months ago. In the jungle, there was a hospital for animals. I wanted to see how the animals that had been injured in the jungle or outside of the jungle and being transported by illegal acts. There were people that illegally took animals out of the jungle. And these animals got injured throughout the travel and were seen by people that are in the center of the jungle taking care of the animals, were transported to this hospital. And it takes, depending on the animal, it takes 1 to 6 years for the animal to recover on a mental, emotional, environmental, and physical level to get back to the jungle and be safe in it. So the physicality of the animal will get back, maybe the fastest, dependent on how well they structure the physio for the animal, but the mental game of the impact of the injury of the animals of the jungle would take from 1 to 6 years, depending on if they got taken away from their mothers during the injury. Guys, and that's the same if it's, and probably it won't be your mother, but it's going to be your friends, your coach. The amount of negative pollution that happens in the brain by you thinking how you failed and how your colleagues are going to make a better development than you, of you being scared of missing out on the information that the others are being told and implemented, on the way they implement the new knowledge in their training that becomes normal, is very dangerous. And this is why working with your breath, as in making exercises and not following other people to tell you what to do, following an app, following a teacher, but observing the way your breathing changes will tell you so much about the way your brain functions, the way your dark thoughts are. That's so nice because they come out and then they grow. And you can't work against it because your body can't move, right? And then either you have the novelty to create thoughts that spiral you up, or you have the luck to spiral yourself down without your body being able to counterbalance, and then observing, oh my gosh, this is the pattern that I've been running. Language is limited, so I'm thinking a lot of things next to what I'm saying, a lot of different shades that I'm not able to communicate with you right now. I hope that this makes you feel understood. I had a friend talking to me yesterday about relationships. Love. That's also an interesting topic and how it affects your breathing in the good and in the bad way. Observe. And I said, I'm very grateful that you understand what I'm saying. And she said, I don't think that I need to be understood. I don't care if you understand what I say. I just want to be respected. So if I think something different to you, just respect my path. And I thought, interesting. For me, it's very important to feel understood, to feel like what I'm going through is part of the game. It's normal. Or not normal, maybe just something that I'm allowed to go through. So it's not that I have to mother you or therapy you or make you feel like whatever. Um, but it's important for me that from a human perspective, you feel heard, seen, and also understood. Because the tendency that also happens when we are injured is to think that, like, I'm super strong, I'm just going to go through these programs and I'm going to come back and then I'm going to fight harder than anyone else. Fun enough, usually another thing can happen then, right after. And what a lack of confidence and what a lack of trust do we have in our bodies if we always have to go through a schedule, through a better, through a ha 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 ha. So I might get lost here a bit in stupidity, but what is most important for me to say is that taking time to observe your breathing, taking time to going for a walk, taking time to go for lots of walks, to continue to move and free your spirit on another pace, accepting the pace changed, accepting the change of pace when you are injured. Studying acceptance, studying and rooting your values through the injury. And that's a superpower. So, in the next video that I'm going to record, I'm going to be speaking, and thank you for your patience. I know these videos took a bit longer than expected, but take the time to trust the development of your spirit, of your personality, of your social wisdom, and how this influences your performance, and stop being so cruel on yourself, injured or not, and have a bit of humor within the situation that you're in. In the next video, I'm going to be giving you a schedule of what you can do, and then please make it your own.